Yeah, the Lucian. Okay, here. It's time for the Lucian Nami rant because I feel like this is actually misunderstood. I know LS hates the Lucian Nami. I actually like the Lucian Nami, but Lucian Nami, it scales with your skill at it. And the thing that's really weird about watching all the LEC Lucian Namis is they all take press to attack, which means that they're probably stomping lanes and scrims. They're being like, oh, with PTA you can actually get an advantage. Whereas when you look at the Eastern Lucian Namis, almost all of them take first strike. There was a little bit where Gala was taking PTA. He was the one that was holding out. But now when you look at it, Viper, Jackie Love, you have Ruler, who's super famous for it. Like Ruler was the one that started taking the first strike, I believe. And they all take first strike because they play for mid game. They play for the one item spike, where it seems like when you watch Madden, like the more egregious one wasn't even Mad, it was Fnatic. Like Fnatic's fucking Lucian Nami, that shit was horrible because the way you need to play it is you play for the mid prio, right? So you play for the ability to force them out of mid before key objectives. So like, I mean, maybe if it's 2 minutes before Drake, you can always cast it, see if you can get a kill. But the whole idea is that the Lucian Nami has the ability on one item for both. So you share a lot of gold between the Nami and the Lucian. Once you have Imperial Mandate and Gale Force, if you just have control of the mid side bushes, so the line brushes on either side of mid, what you can do is as soon as the enemy team tries to contest the mid wave, like they could be literally at their turret. You dash over that wall, you proc your W, which gives the slow because of Nami's E, and then you just culling them down, Gale Force, finish them off, blow the flash, whatever. And then the way that you're supposed to use this in the mid game is to get complete vision over Dragon. And one thing that Eastern teams prioritize way more than Western teams is they care about vision way more. When they have vision of an objective, that means that they'll be willing to like take a fight where they're 3-4k gold down, 5k gold down. If they have vision over the objective, they view it as like you can almost take any fight that you want because of just the advantage that it gives you, the ability to one-shot people. And just in general, when you see their setups, they spread a lot more like thin across like multiple different angles. When you see an Eastern team, they'll have somebody sitting in a pink warded bush, like maybe at red, then you'll have another guy that's like sitting potentially flanking over towards mid, or maybe in one of the brushes around mid, like Pixel or the banana bush there. Then you'll have the other three contesting from like straight forward. So you have like the front to back, and then you have a double flank if they potentially engage. And they're so much more willing to pull the trigger. And when you have Lucian Nami, you get insta mid prio, right? Like you just culling, enemy 80 carry is chunked. Even if they have like a Lulu or whatever, they shield, they waste ult, whatever, you get a bunch of prio right there. And then you don't use the Nami ult in these fights. You wait with the Nami ult.
Oh, I have a take on this. Come on, keep going.
And you just throw the Nami ult at the choke. You literally don't try to hit Nami ult. Yep. I feel like Nami ult is baiting these Western teams so hard, where they see like Nami ult, they're like, our Lucian's going in, cast the Nami ult, and they just try to throw everything at the guy. Where it's
let me get this, because here's the thing. Sure. I actually had a mini rant like this on exactly this topic, Dom. Because you know what? Obviously, I know the way my bread's buttered, mate. I stay where the things I know about the game in my wheelhouse. But you know what? Just like I ventured opinions in the past on the Pike, people might not know this. I have played thousands of games of Nami. That's one of the few champions I've actually played loads of games of, right? And here's the thing, Dom. That is so insane that I was watching pro players do that. That is like bronze, like first time Nami level shit, where you use the ult to engage, or you use it to like on the first guy. Like I'm not talking like the first guy's just like in front of you, so you just ult him only. Like what are you doing? Literally, the number one tool of that is it's one of the best disengages in the whole game. You never save it to disengage in these fights, though. They've never ever been using this ever as a disengage. By the way, it would be amazing in some of these fights like a dragon and shit. Secondly, like you say, especially when you have these comps where you have like the fucking mage mid lane and you want them to come into a fucking choke. Save it for that, for fuck's sake. And then thirdly, if you're just gambling with it, don't use it. It's one of those ones you use when other people are like stationary, they're caught, there's 3 people, you want to do obviously you want to hit loads of people with it and have a massive impact. They're all just firing it, Dom. Dude, they fire the Nami ult like a Talia fires the wall at the beginning of a fight. They just throw it out there and then start fighting. And I'm like, bro, this is one of the most powerful tools you have.
This is what I was gonna compare it to, because I thought we were gonna go into the Lucian Nami rant. Like when I had the show planned out in my head, I was like, we're probably going to the Lucian Nami rant when we hit Fnatic, because that was like the super egregious ones.
No, but we've triggered it anyway, so let's go.
So we already triggered it. So we're in the mix. So the dynamic there is that you have Lucian culling with E, which becomes like insane poke, and then like what do you need when you have like any type of poke? You need disengage. That's the other side of the things, because when you poke them, like the counter to poke is to engage on the person that's fucking poking you, but then you have Nami ult, and then you obviously have Lucian dash, and he's pretty mobile himself. And that is like what you're supposed to be doing. If you want an example of how to use Lucian Nami, look at JDG versus Top Esports Game 1. The game where like they were losing in lane to the Draven. look at how they're able to use that combo, and look at the way that Missing uses the Nami ult. He just throws it at a choke. Like it's so beat into him by his coaches that he should be throwing at a choke that that in situations, even if it's not going to hit anyone, he will always fire it at the choke, because just the ability to prevent people from walking through it for that amount of time, just the fact that they have to walk away from the choke will give you so much time to engage on the other people that are split. So man, this Lucian Nami thing, like, they just don't play it well. They don't.
You can also zone, like you're saying. You can absolutely zone a fight out completely, of course.
I mean, that's the thing, is like the Nami wave is literally perfect. Look at all those entrances to Dragon. Like, look at even the
it's
bottom
about the exact size of the wave.
It is literally just perfect size for every single one. It's like the guy that invented the game is like, how big should we make Nami ult? And he just like measured the fucking like pieces of terrain. He's like, yep, that's the width of Nami ult right there. And I can't see them keep on throwing it mid. Don't use the Nami ult mid ever. Like, I would be like, never. Like, if I was a coach, never use it mid.
By the way, here's the follow-up rule to that, which I agree to. If I ever see you just throw it randomly mid, like 45 seconds before Dragon, like, you're just out the team. Like, you're not allowed to ever play Nami again. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's also mental, mate.
It's so tough to watch, because I feel like the players are good, but it's the players that are playing Nami are just not Nami players. Like, think about the Nami.
No, exactly. Like, I was looking this up, dude. I actually genuinely checked before this episode. Have people like I knew Trimby had played a couple of games, but like, they've almost never played the champion. Like, dude, he's played it like 9 times or something. Like, this is a really smart player, by the way. I consider him actually quite a cerebral support. Like, these guys, these are some of the best supports we're talking about. They're in all of Europe. Like, we're talking about Hillesang. We're talking about fucking. But
that's the thing.
They're just not. They're not. Their brain isn't tuned into the champion, though. Like I say.
Trimby is like the only one that I would be like, he's more inclined towards the enchanters. I think he's just better at them than the rest.
Yes.
But if you think about all the great supports in Europe, they're almost all engaged players.
They are.
You look at Kaiser, you look at Mickey X, you look at Hillesang, they're all just really good on the engaged champions. So they're just looking for like picks. Like, their mind is like,
it's just how support works in Europe. I mean, if people don't know, that's how even Mithy started. He was a Thresh player. That's what always an Alistair player. It's all about just getting a pick, like you say. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, when I'm watching this, I'm just like, dude, I feel like you could just. It's just so upsetting to me, because I feel like there is the example of what to do with it, like right there. Like, Ruler plays so much of it. Like, I mean, it was banned eventually, but all the games before it was banned, just look at those games. Look at how Ruler and Lehens are playing it. Look at Jackie Love and Mark when they play it. Look at Viper and Mako. Just look at the other people playing it. It's right there. They will teach you how to do it because they're practiced on it. How do we not know that? Like, I shouldn't know that. If you like. I mean, if I know that, you guys should definitely know that. So I feel like maybe it's choking. Maybe it's just the players being like, yeah, I know that, but like, there's always exceptions to the rule. It's like, as a jungler, right? If somebody says we're playing strong side bot this game, it doesn't literally mean you can never go top. Like, you can go top if you think you're going to get a free kill and be able to snowball the game. I understand that you can't be super limited in your mindset, but the amount of times that they were going for these picks was to a degree where I do not believe that they actually have like the like intrinsic understanding of what they should be doing with these two champions. And then like just everything else, like the way that they go for the picks and stuff, it just doesn't look like they really have it down to like the degree where you're like, oh, this is a Lucian Nami team. It just seems like they're playing it because other people play it, but they didn't like, it's like they saw the drafts that other teams had, but they never watched the games. That's how it looks to me.
The other thing I would also say these Western players do with the Nami, especially, dude, is it's like it reminds me of a classic mistake that actually happens in professional Counter-Strike, which is sometimes you have players, if they're not veterans, where they just like use the grenades too early in the round, basically. And the reason you do that, right, is because when you play in matchmaking, you're on your own and you're having a solo experience, you don't want to have that feeling of like, oh, I died and I had like grenades I could have used. Like, you want to be like, oh, I want to get them out and then I want to have like a fight as well. It's like a feeling like you're being efficient with what you've bought, because obviously in Counter-Strike, like it takes money from your inventory, etc., when you buy the items, right? That's what I think these guys are doing. I think the reason they throw the ult instantly is they're so scared that like the fight happens and they forget to ult or something. It's like, you idiot, it's literally the opposite. This is one of those champions, a bit like old school Orianna in a normal 5v5 team fight. You're purposely holding that ult because it's the whole mechanism of what you're going to do in the fight. Like, the reason you're not going to forget to do it, mate, is that's all I want you thinking about most of the time. That you're just going to be considering when's the best moment to throw this ult, because if you do it well, it's going to be amazing. But the joke is, like we said, if you go and watch all all the Western Namis in all these games, you'll never know what we're talking about now because they never ever do that. It's just at the beginning they throw it, it misses everyone, or it bumps one guy, and then and there's the other thing, dude. They'll also throw it on disengages that don't even disengage us, and it makes one guy bump and they still catch you and kill you. It's like, why are you throwing that out then? Like, it's not magic, you know. It only bumps the person it hits.
The amount of Nami ults I saw mid lane, specifically in the Fnatic series, it was blowing my mind. Why are you throwing it mid? Mid is like one of the only places on the map where Nami ult can be easily like walked away from. Like, it's one of the only locations on the map where you just can avoid it by walking to the top or the bottom of the wave. So for me, man, I was super triggered watching these Lucian Namis. It's just not it. I want to talk to some of these guys. I want to just slap some fucking sense into them. And you know what it is?
Oh, and here's the other thing as well, dude. I'd understand if it was like, you know, like the whole Gwen situation at MSI, where it's like you either played Gwen, spoiler, that just means you had a chance to win, or you just had to come up with like theories of like, maybe this counters it. I think I'll play this.
Vladimir,
right?
maybe.
This is worse, dude, because at least now you can just handshake the bot lane. Like, they can have like fucking Zeri, and you can have the Sivir or whatever. Like, you don't have to pick this Lucian Nami bot lane. Like, I feel like you're forcing this, guys.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I'll say to Mad Lions, I think that they have an advantage over some of the other teams because they actually seem to play all the meta champions. So they'll, even though their Lucian Nami is not great, they'll play the Sivir, they'll play the Zeri, and which is like the handshake, right? And then the counter to the handshake is if you have a Draven player. That's like the key. You have Draven, that layers it on top because you don't want to be playing like Sivir Yumi or some shit into Draven Nautilus with like an early pressure jungler like a Poppy or a Trundle, because then they're just going to come bot and they're going to explode the whole fucking game. So Mad Lions is going to get a Draven ban probably the entire playoffs. Like, I'm sure, Fnatic was banning it versus XL, and Patrick is like not the same Draven player as Unforgiven. Unforgiven was the one that was having all those Draven games during the split where you look at the gold and it would be like 19,000 gold to 1,000 gold. The guy actually has not left base yet. He has a 16,000 gold advantage if you just like auto the fucking 80 carry one time and explode him. He's never gonna get Draven. So that means the enemy team has to ban Draven every single game, which means that then you should be able to get an ideal situation because you're already able to predict the draft to such a high degree. Like we saw Fnatic banning Kalista, right? And that's another pick that he can play. So he can play all 5 of the 80 carries that are really prevalent in the meta right now. Draven, Kalista, Lucian with Nami, Zeri, Sivir. Those are the 5. If you can play all 5, that's like the fucking infinity gauntlet of bot lane right now. And almost no one worldwide is actually able to play all of them proficiently for their region. I mean, obviously, if you put these guys into like Ruler or something, like he's probably just going to dick them and they're not going to be like the Draven players anymore. But for the region, for the context of LEC, he actually has he has like the biggest toolbox to go into these drafts with. So
like I said, my problem was just I wouldn't have put him on the fucking Lucian in game 5, man. I think you have to remember people to already experience like, unless he asked for it, like that's different. If he was like, give me it, but then. But if it's like one of those ones that's like, look, would I can't play this? Like, nah, I wouldn't have done that, man. That's not the move for me.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it comes down to like the fact that they were doing well with it early in the season, or like they're winning the games with it early in the series. So maybe they thought like, okay, well, if we go back to that same type of draft, and if you go purely theoretically, it is solid there. Like, I agree. It's not great into Caitlyn, Lux, and lane. Like, you should lose lane, but that's not even the point of Lucian Nami. The whole point of Lucian Nami is that you hit one item and then they can't do anything to you. Because like, think about the only disengage that Caitlyn, Lux have when they start holding mid lane at like 15 minutes. All they can do is Lux bind, but you have cleanse. So if you're a good Lucian Nami player, that means you're just getting fucking flashes, Gale, like you're just fucking destroying them once you get to that point of the game. And then obviously it was harder for them to get to that point because they literally were just, the Lux Caitlyn were able to dry hump the turret the entire fucking game because of the fact that Mad Lions went for that egregious top dive where they all fucking died. That just opens up like a 2-minute window where Caitlyn, Lux could just do whatever the fuck they want. They didn't even have to like pretend to respect the enemy jungler. So I don't think it's the worst call in the world. I'm not like super against it, but yeah, I mean, it definitely did not.
Want to see more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.